Welcome to Thriver TV, the place to break free from narcissistic abuse with quantum tools and understandings. Today is a really cool day because we're going to talk about 3 incredibly powerful ways that you can get any narcissist to leave you alone. Maybe you're not at this stage of wanting a narcissist to leave you alone, but if you are, this episode is totally for you. And even if you aren't, I hope that by the end of the episode that you will be ready to activate these 3 wonderful tips that I'm sharing with you today. Okay, so before we get started, I'd like to thank all of you who are so wonderfully supporting the Thriver mission by subscribing to my channel, and remind those of you who haven't yet to please do. And if you like this episode, make sure you give it a thumbs up. All right, so on with this episode. Why do we need narcissists to leave us alone? The reason we need narcissists to leave us alone is because there is nothing to gain from trying to engage with a narcissist. You can't talk sanity into insanity. The more you try to reason with a narcissist, make a deal with them, try to plead with them or lecture or prescribe to them, in other words, grant them any of your energy whatsoever, it just makes matters worse. The only way to regain your sanity, soul and life and win against a narcissist is to withdraw all of your energy and focus and put it on to your own healing. That's when you will get free from this horrible experience and evolve and elevate yourself into your true and your new life. But what if a narcissist won't leave you alone? What if he or she seems hell-bent on pestering you, continuing to abuse you, and just won't stop doing it? So many people think and report that a narcissist will never stop doing what they're doing to them, but I promise you that this is not true. There are surefire ways that you can get a narcissist to leave you alone, regardless of ties that you think may bind you for life to him or her, such as sharing children together. So let's check out how to do this. Number 1 step is no contact. No contact is not just essential to get a narcissist to leave you alone. No contact is also vital to grant yourself the space to start healing from a narcissist. No contact is easier said than done. We all know how difficult it is to stay away from and repel the narcissist's hoovering attempts and stop the ways that he or she could trigger you into breaking no contact and all the other sneaky tactics that narcissists use to get your attention and an ego feed from you. So this is where number 3 and number 1 are deeply interconnected, and I'm going to be explaining more about number 3 when we get to it. Suffice to say that when you master how to emotionally manage yourself successfully enough to keep no contact with a narcissist, then he or she runs out of the fuel to keep abusing you with. Narcissists need a payoff for their efforts, and the prize is always narcissistic supply. If a narcissist knows that he or she affects you, then the narcissist believes that he or she is significant, and that is the exact fuel that keeps the narcissistic, cruel, malicious, attention-seeking punishment cycles continuing. Please know this: there is no greater insult to a narcissist than when you are no longer gaining, when they're no longer gaining any attention, energy, or reaction from you. It's so important to understand that an energy exchange with a narcissist does not need to be physical and literal. Even if you're checking up on the narcissist without him or her knowing, there is a psychic phenomena occurring whereby the narcissist is still receiving your emotional energy through the ethers. If you still feel emotionally hooked in, affected and traumatized by the narcissist, which is evident if you're still obsessing about him or her, then the narcissist is still getting energetic narcissistic supply from you. This grants the narcissist the fuel that allows him or her to continue violating you. Again, this is exactly why number 3, which we're going to talk about soon, is so vital. Let's have a look at number 2, anti-fear. I love anti-fear because it's beyond powerful. This is the next step up from true no contact. And number 2 also requires the self-dedication to step number 3, which of course we are going to get to. Anti-fear means that you have purposefully eradicated every part of yourself that has been buying into the illusion that the narcissist has power over you and is, on their own, capable of annihilating you, making your life a living hell, or destroying everything that you thought your life could be. When we go quantum and wake up out of the trance, we realize the truth, that the narcissist is a deep soul experience causing us to meet outside of ourselves the fears and insecurities that were all along buried in our subconscious interior. A startling thing happens when we stop trying to manage the fear by battling the narcissist, which of course breaks rule number 1, no contact, literally, emotionally and energetically, and instead turn inwards to manage, which really means eradicate, the fear that we're feeling inside of ourselves. This creates a massive shift in consciousness. Without our internal trauma, we start to see things clearly as they are, as the truth of the matter. We become wise. We know that the narcissist is in fact an insecure, powerless individual inciting and using our own fear against us. We sense a deeper power and presence that rises up within us, that applies to all of life itself. This is that there is a benevolent, solid, all-loving force that is positioned to unfold what is right, true, and wholesome when we understand how all of life works. If we're being self-partnered, then all of life follows. By releasing ourselves from our inner trauma and fears, we know how to show up. We stop dimming down, playing safe and handing our power away, trying to appease narcissists so that they stop hurting us. Rather, we rise up and stay true to our values and our boundaries, regardless of what somebody else is or isn't doing. We're no longer scared of other people. We are willing to lose it all to get it all. We understand that living outside of our own personal integrity never ends up going well. And we know that when we align with personal integrity and be what we wish to receive from life, then we produce our most powerful and complete results. The shift is miraculous. This integrity-centered living is so authentic and powerful, the effect that it has on a narcissist is as annihilating as shining a bright light upon a vampire. The narcissist as a false self can only operate in the shadows. They can only do what they do when they're using your fear, heartbreak, guilt, and insecurities against you. When you emerge solid, confident, powerful, and unemotionally expressing facts without any of the previous trauma derailing you emotionally, that is when narcissists come undone. Here is the fact that you need to know. If a narcissist cannot have the upper hand emotionally and energetically against you and can no longer emotionally derail you, then they've lost the fight. Without you acting out of your dishevelment, the narcissist becomes painfully aware of their own. This is when it's time for the narcissist to exit the scene, no matter the cost, and take their disordered self into another environment whereby they can extract narcissistic supply and significance again. Since working to help people become empowered against narcissists, I've been amazed and thrilled to see previously relentless narcissists submit, capitulate, and hand over whatever is necessary to get out of the lives of people who show up powerfully without fear. Absolutely, this happens regularly in this community with property and custody settlements with the people who work with my NARP program. Narcissists are broken children in adults' bodies trying to bully and intimidate their way into position. They are no match for someone powerfully embodied in an adult body. Okay, so number 3 is energetic detox. This is the underpinning to all of it. The most powerful way to get a narcissist out of your life and to completely leave you alone is by detoxing him or her out of every vestige of your inner being. And this is because of the absolute quantum law, so within, so without. When this person doesn't exist for you for real emotionally, this person will not exist for you. Can you imagine what it will be like when you don't even think about this person? Can you imagine what it'd be like if somebody brought them up, a conversation about them, and you had zero emotional reaction at all, and the topic is something you don't even care about? Can you imagine bumping into this person and you feel nothing at all, and by the time you cross the road, your mind is thinking about all the things that you need to get done today? I can assure you, no matter how enmeshed you feel in the thoughts of the narcissist, and even if this has been going on for years or even decades for you, that 100% when you do the inner work to detox yourself from a narcissist, you will go completely free. People ask me in disbelief all the time, how can you not think about the ex-narcissist in your life? And my answer is this: I did the inner work. I loaded up, released and replaced every single thing about these people that hurt me or that I was obsessing about. That's how. Then nothing about them existed anymore for me. And you may think that this is not possible until you start doing this work and discover just how possible it is. You may think that if you're co-parenting, or that if you have a business with this narcissist, or if there is a narcissistic family member that you need to see at functions, that this is impossible. Yet, regardless of the situation, when you detox this person out of your inner being, you will discover how this person will dissolve out of your experience. The narcissist detaches, moves away, gets another job, is brought to justice, stops harassing whilst co-parenting, and so on and so forth. You name it, it's possible. Life has unlimited ways to start matching your inner being, and it always does. It's quantum law. So I hope that this Thriver TV episode has explained to you the 3 most powerful ways that you will get a narcissist to leave you alone. Less is more. Less combating the narcissist and more doing the feeling and empowering work on yourself. Do you understand? If you do, right below, you get less of me and my inner being gets more. Write it below. Are you ready to be done with this and get a narcissist out of your life? If so, come with me on your incredible journey of self by clicking the link at the top right of this video. And if you want to see more of my episodes, please make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you will be notified as soon as each new one is released. And also share this information with your communities, especially people who are stuck in the trauma with narcissists who won't leave them alone. And as always, I look forward to connecting with you in your comments and your questions below. And okay, it's the first event of my Oz tour tomorrow in Sydney. I am so excited, it's ridiculous, and I can't wait to see you all. And please know there's still some tickets, some last minute tickets available for Melbourne and Brisbane, which you can get by clicking the link here. Can't wait to see you Sydney peeps tomorrow. And until the next one, you know how it goes. Keep smiling, keep healing, and keep thriving, because there's nothing else to do. Lots of love. Bye-bye.